Welcome to the Association post-game show. Cleveland took Game 3 over the Pistons, 116-109. The Pistons are up 2-1 now. I'm your host, Alexis Morgan, here with Zach Harper and Mo DeKeel. Great game, really down the stretch. We didn't know who was going to take this W tonight. Zach, what were your overall thoughts on this game?
I mean, it was a great fight from Cleveland that we've been waiting to see after the first two games. First two games, they played really well for parts of the game, but down the stretch just kind of let go of the rope. Not at home in Cleveland in Game 3. They came through with big shots from James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, Max Strus came up with massive turnovers. Just an overall great finish by the Cavaliers.
Mo, you and I both, before the show, picked Cleveland to win, so congratulations to both of us. What were your overall thoughts?
Did you pick Cleveland?
Yeah, I think, Cleveland kind of got away with just a little bit of tough play down the stretch. I mean, it took, they took the lead, the Pistons being the ones who took the lead with a Tobias Harris three, and then they responded really well. And those turnovers down the stretch that Zach was talking about, the steal from Max Strus, the Jared Allen steal, Cade with 3 turnovers down the stretch, really crushed the Pistons' chances to kind of take this one home.
Okay. Zach, I mean, we talked a lot about Cleveland and needing to come out in this game, win one. You didn't pick Cleveland to win, so what were your thoughts on why you didn't think that Cleveland would take it in Game 3?
I just didn't think that they were going to be able to execute down the stretch. We've seen Detroit be so physical defensively, and Cleveland not really handle that well. We heard Kenny Atkinson before the game in his pregame presser talk about, kind of soft saying like, oh, they're being really physical. They're bumping us, so we need to adapt. We can't expect calls. We need to adapt. They haven't been adapting to that. This time they actually did. They actually came through, not looking for contact, not looking for calls, just concentrating on making the shots. I think that was big. Plus, they put a lot more defensive pressure on Cade Cunningham in the fourth quarter. He got to some spots early on, but he also just made some really lazy passes that they were able to jump all over. I mean, that steal by Max Strus on the inbound on the side was just unbelievable. I don't know that I've seen a steal like that. So just making those little plays, showing that little fight that we hadn't seen towards the end of Game 1 and 2, that was the difference, and we needed to see that from Cleveland.
Mo, we've often said that Cade Cunningham is a focus in this round 2. How do you think Cleveland defended him in Game 3?
I think they just did a good job putting more pressure onto him. They didn't allow him to kind of get to the spots as easily. There were moments where the defense slipped and, Cade got through, but for the most part, constantly making him have to work a little extra harder each possession to get to those spots made it a tough spot for the Pistons overall, and then just trying to get their offense executed. There are times where they're blitzing, they're showing different coverages, making them have to think. I thought they did a great job mixing their coverages, and it paid off.
Detroit still up 2-1, so let's hear from Pistons head coach JB Bickerstaff.
Let me just see.
JB obviously rallied in the third. Kind of what do you chalk up just the coldness offensively in the first half, and then just the struggles to slow them down as well?
I think, the first half we got great looks. We got open shots that just didn't fall for us. And the shots started to fall for us. So, again, we just got to continue to do what we do, and we'll get the looks we're looking for.
I believe it was 27 points off turnovers. There were 3 straight there from Cade down the stretch. What do you kind of see that kind of forced them into those?
They picked up their pressure, obviously. But again, that's too many turnovers for us as a group. 16 is too many. Give up 27 points off those turnovers. Our defense is so stingy if we get you in the half court. So we just got to make sure we get shots on goal so that we can set our defense and make people have to work through it.
Maybe, what did you like from Paul Reed tonight? And with Isaiah Stewart, I don't think we saw him in the second half. Can you give some background information on that?
Yeah, again, I just thought, what at that moment what we needed is what P. Reed provides. He provides, that spark, that instant impact to make plays, whether it's defensively or offensively. I just think he impacts the game. Like when you're down, he's a guy you can go to that can raise the energy. I thought he did a great job of that again tonight.
were there things that you feel you can kind of like take from that run in the third to apply to game forward?
Oh, for sure. Again, I thought we did a lot of good things to get back in the game, especially with our defense, forcing some more turnovers and those types of things, but I thought we did a good job, what we needed to. We just came a little short at the end.
Anything offensively that Cleveland was kind of doing a little bit differently? It seemed like they were maybe a little more aggressive.
They started to attack switches more, and then their guys went to more of their ISO game. Again, we got to do a better job being in position to help one another. I thought our floor got a little more space than we normally are, and guys had opportunity to drive the ball and get to the paint and make plays from there.
When it's getting more spaced, what are you looking for your guys to do to respond to that, to make it a little stingy like you did?
Well, we just got to shrink the floor more. That we're just a little hugged up to our man too much because of their ability to shoot, and we just didn't do a better job of being, in tighter, and then when the ball moves, we can fly and close out to our guy.
Go
ahead.
17 offensive rebounds tonight. What did you like about the effort there? And then do you think that the team maybe could have converted a bit more of those as well?
Yeah, you do a great job, attacking the glass on both ends. What we want to do to help us win those possessions. The conversion, we'll go back and take a look at it and see what happened on all of them. But again, it's the effort to go and get them, and that's what we want to do. And typically, those do lead to positive possession. So we'll continue to do a great job on the offensive glass.
What did you see from JD tonight? Were you tempted to leave the ball in there toward the end?
You always have those thoughts about what you want to do. But again, I think JD's done a great job for us all year long. Pete Reed obviously provides a spark for us. But again, we went back with JD. Thank you.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Thanks, JB.
JB Bickerstaff there. The Pistons had 15 turnovers. Cade, 8 of them. Mo, turnovers are a problem, which JB just said they are for the Pistons.
Too many turnovers is a problem for everybody. But when your star player has half of them, you're really going to have a real difficult night just sort of getting your offense going. Like, Cade's responsible so much offensively that it's hard when he's got to do so much and he's turning the ball over. It's really difficult to recover. The Cavs got 27 points off of those 16 turnovers. Like, those are backbreakers. Those are, the live ball turnovers, gets them out in transition, gets them out running, lets them get easy baskets. And when it gets you more confidence to make some hard ones, which they did down the stretch. So it really was kind of like a domino effect. Once he started turning the ball over, it became a problem. And like we said, down the stretch, 3 huge turnovers that pretty much broke their back.
And Zach, what did you take away from what JB Bickerstaff had to say?
I really liked his point about the defense getting space. We didn't see that in game 1 and 2, and you're always going to have a little bit more energy at home, but they really shrank the floor, as he said, in game 1 and 2 to where you didn't have those driving lanes. Every time someone tried to drive past their defender, there was help, there was a deflection, there was a steal, there was a forced turnover, a forced bad pass. We didn't see that as much in game 3 because, for whatever reason, he said they were a little too hugged up to their man. Maybe you're worried about role players hitting shots on the road, so you want to stay closer to some of those shooters, but a lot more driving space for Donovan Mitchell, for James Harden. Dennis Schroeder had a really good effort in terms of just getting the ball into the teeth of the defense. That's stuff we didn't see consistently in games 1 and 2, and we saw it tonight.
We'll hear from another coach, and we'll hear from more players after this break. We'll be back with more.